Welcome back, good people. Look, so this is a strategy that the Big 12 must consider in order to continue to have a successful bid in the postseason in this new format of college football playoffs. Okay, the Big 12 should consider going to 8 conference games, because what that'll do is it'll help the win-loss ratio, and it will keep the teams able to compete that extra game or two that they need in the playoffs. Because at this point, it seems like the more serious power conference matchups are going to decline, and it looks like we're going to go into a win-loss format. Like, rankings is not going to be considered a big deal, and really that's how it needs to be. But some is thinking, well, how could we go to a win-loss record only by who has the most wins and who has the most losses if we believe that certain teams or programs is not as good as ours? Well, that's not for you to decide. It's more of like, if you're good, just go win. If you're not, then you lose. Really, that's simple. You'll show each game who's the better team with win and loss. That's simple. All of the personal injections into decision making on what I think or what I believe, or the stereotyping of a program, yet alone a conference, on how could you even say that your conference is better than another conference just because you think that it's better? And even if you have a program or two in a conference that is constantly dominating that conference, that just means you're the better program in that conference. It doesn't mean you're the better program in the whole conference football landscape or the whole college football landscape, because you haven't even played. The only way that you can say that your conference or your program is the better team in the whole conference is if you played each team and you've won each program, each game that you play. And we all know that's impossible. So it would be irrational to say that, oh, we're the better team in the college football or we are the better conference. No, that's not true. So with that being said, we must come to a simple win-loss ratio. Okay, win-loss, whoever has the most wins and most losses, and then everybody is seeded into the playoffs based off of win-loss. The strength of schedule should go out the window, and I'm only talking about on the power conference, the power 4 conference spectrum. That is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about factoring in a group of 5 schools and programs. As I mentioned, something has to give there. But when we talk about the format, that's fine. The only issue is you can't have rankings with the seedings. Like, that's still how do you not see that that's a personal choice, or there's biases there, or that it's going to be skewed because we have people that's saying, well, I think this team is better. Just imagine being on the committee, and you're trying to decide which team should go where. Do you know how much room that leaves for chaos? And you can't please everyone. People are going to always be unhappy because you have a group of imperfect humans deciding who's what and the criteria for this. But what could never be contested is who won and who lost. There's no debate on that. Okay? So if we make it as simple as based off of wins and losses, okay, the top 16 teams will make it to the playoffs based off of wins and losses, and who has the better record. The four best records would be seated in those slots, period. So if we have a four-way tie on 11-1, then they automatically get the bye, and then everybody else just fall in line right there, period. That's very simple. The problem is you have all these people with these personal beliefs. Oh, we're the better this, we're the better that, and really it's all about how you manipulated the system to get your teams in every year, and you create this illusion that you're the better conference because of one team, maybe two, has been able to continue to have the opportunity to continue to win. So that's not a fair playing field. We're talking about a lot of money here. We're talking about a lot of programs. We're talking about a lot of institutes. We're talking about a lot of TV network money, okay? You cannot just be so conceited and selfish and greed and say, we're going to do this because we're so arrogant and pumped up with pride that this is what we're doing, and it's to your own demise. Because as you clearly see, everyone who has that attitude and that mindset, when we're talking about big dollars and big marketing and branding, where this sport can go is way bigger than what your 4 teams per conference is talking about. Okay? Think about this. This sport can be healthy and good if we just get away from this selfish personal belief of, oh, we're the best team. Well, it's not for you to decide that or speak it. It's to be shown on the field every game, every year, every season. Do you hear the Buffalo Bills, or do you hear the New York Jets, or do you hear the Pittsburgh Steelers saying, oh, we're the best team every year? No, it's shown on the field. That's how you know who's the best team. With wins and losses every year, it's real simple. The action speaks louder than words. We don't need to hear you say that you're the better team or you're the better conference. We don't care about that, because that's you talking. It will show on the field. Let the game speak for itself. Everyone should have an opportunity to prove themselves who's the better team. You should not be cutting people out or taking away their opportunity, narrowing the window, and you're using that because now that's eliminated, and then you're saying, oh, we the better team. It's just a recurring manipulation, and really it's a form of cheating. When you ask me, it's cheating outright. Okay, you're removing opportunity from other teams just so you can keep getting a shot at it every time. That's done. That way of college football is old. It's done. It doesn't work. It only worked for a few teams, and they've been lining their pockets. They've been filling their bellies with this stuff. It's time to open up the gates to where everyone can thrive, where we can have multiple good teams and conferences. So the matchups are more rewarding. So the matchups are more competitive. So it needs to be polarity across the whole college football, not just in one conference, not just in a few teams. The whole league need to have polarity. So we build up this sport to where drawing in more fans, drawing in more viewership. You want to grow the college, not make it smaller, not in a fixed mindset, because that's what I heard from certain members of the SEC. I heard that fixed mindset. Oh, we're this and we're that, and we don't need to change nothing. No, that's not growth mindset. That is not good for business. So we need to grow the college football, and we need to grow the league and grow the opportunity. This could be way more greater than what it is now if we just show those few, it's only a few, who believe that they're better than everyone else, show those few members that no, we're not going to do it that way. No, we're not going to do it the way you think it should be. We're going to do it the way that's good for college football as a whole, because no one person team is bigger than the whole or the program, period. And so this is what my suggestion is to the Big 12. I believe you guys need to go down to 8 conference games, because it will automatically fix the problem on the extra loss that comes in at the end of the season, giving you that 3-loss team or that 2-loss team, when you can produce 1-loss teams, a lot of 1-loss teams, which would increase the postseason opportunities, because clearly we have a few individuals that's trying to cut out the Big 12. As you can see, only one team made it to the playoffs this year because of that simple fact that they have that extra conference game, and they're not even considering it. When you think about it, okay, when we used to be on the old system with the strength of schedule, each power team, each power matchup mattered. Now we're going to the aspect of, no, it's just about wins and losses, and you have to get down to 8 games, conference games, just like the SEC, because that worked for them. That's how they're able to produce what they've been producing, and they make it look like they're playing this strenuous schedule. But when you look at it, they got about 5 teams, maybe even 7, that is really just mediocre teams, period. That is an easy win, period, with the exception of what happened with Alabama and Vanderbilt and so on and so forth. But on average, they have about 7 teams each year that's just an easy win for them. And yes, they are scheduled for that easy win. They only have about 4 good teams in their conference where it's not an easy win. And they only played probably 2 of those teams. Think about it. You got 5 teams that's on your schedule that's an easy win within your conference. You got 4 games out of conference that's easy wins. You put that together, that's already 9 wins automatically. And then you play your harder teams towards the end of the year. You already got a good record. Then you start playing the 3 hard teams, right, towards the end of the year within your conference, to make it seem like all year long you've been playing this power tough schedule. Nah, that's not what's happening. It's an illusion. It's really not. And then they manipulate the system to where, we got a really strong. No. Big 12, go to 8 conference game matchups. That way you're helping your league to not cannibalize itself, and not make it increases the members of reaching to the postseason and making multiple playoff bids, which is the goal of the Big 12, and increasing that number from where it is now to more, because the more slots that open, if it goes to 16, guess who's going to want those slots? The SEC and the Big 10. So you have to go down to 8 conference matchups, period, because that's going to help reserve your team for that final game, or those last games where it count, where you can win the season out. When college football is when the playoff committee is looking at and evaluating teams, you're able to win because you already have the record there. And they're going to automatically count the in-conference matchups as power matches, period. But the SEC is using that method. It needs to, decrease to that amount. Once again, thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to go to www.size-11.com. Get your merch. It's free to click that like button. It's free to click that subscribe button. Please do that so this channel can grow. And once again, till next time,